price to pay, right?
Of course.
Just 1 minute, I'll be right back.
Now we can start.
So are you gonna like hook me up with like twice cut blow when you move down there or what?
I would say
I
that.
don't do blow.
Well, people do.
I mean, if you come visit me, I'll probably hook you up with some blow.
Is that an invitation to come see you in Mexico?
Probably. I don't know where in Mexico I'm going to be living. It's either going to be Mexico City or Guadalajara, but
Nice. Mexico City. There's some rough parts of that town.
my friends live in the good part of that town.
How much does that kind of cost to live in there?
It's like the same cost of living as where I live now, but
Really?
everything else is much cheaper.
It's
880
even higher elevation.
Oh, it's a way high.
It's like 7,000.
Yeah, I live at 6,000, so 7,000 is not that much higher up.
What do we have on
They're
the
way
phone?
up there, especially for the law.
Oh, that's right, Colorado's around 6,000.
I've never been to Mexico City, but I'm going next month, so we'll see if I like it. That might be where I move, because that's where I know people.
It's supposed to be huge.
It is huge. It's gigantic.
John on yet? He said he would be like a minute, yeah, late. John Pickerel.
John Pickerel, are you on? There's a phone number.
We have a quorum. We'll start. Has everyone read the agenda?
Yes.
Any oppositions, any changes? Yes, Mr. DG.
I'd like to make an addition for a request for funds for an event, and also to propose a private executive session between now and convention.
Could that be taken during your time?
Easily.
Okay, let's add that to your time. Mr. Vice Chair.
I would like to move to strike policy manual committee from the agenda.
Is there any opposed? Policy Manual Committee from the agenda. It shouldn't be on there.
It is.
That's a mistake. Strike it. Without opposition, we're striking that from the agenda. Anything else? All right, I see we have a couple guests here today. If you wouldn't mind introducing yourselves.
Hello, this is John Pickerel.
Hey, I talked to you.
That's
John, we
Jennifer
hear you.
Duval.
Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, we can hear you, John.
Yeah, we've started. Would you mute your mic, please? Go ahead, Ramon.
Ramon Dunn.
And what are you doing?
Oh, I'm going to be the U.S. Senate candidate, so I'm going to run for the Libertarian.
Sarah Basman.
Hey, Ms. Basman, you're the treasurer of Denver County, right?
Yes, that's correct.
You are?
Mark Haddon, the Communications Director of Denver County.
Nice. So we have a few people from Denver County, and I think we know everybody else. Yay! All right. Public commentary. You got 3 minutes each. Whoever would like to make a comment. Mr. Frank, go ahead. Sorry, I missed you.
Good evening. My name's Frank Atwood. I happen to be your liaison to the Center-Right Coalition. Basic rules, they meet here every second Monday, and what's said there is supposed to stay there. What's provided as flyers is welcome to be spread out. So I'll start with Steve Schreiner giving me the card. You can vote yourself into socialism, but keep in mind you will have to shoot your way out. So for Second Amendment, anyone that's interested on the Firearm Coalition of Colorado Legislative Alert, I've got a flyer for them. I have a flyer with regards to crowdfunding and Freedom Fi. This is Independence Institute attempts to find money among libertarians and conservatives. Tough battle. If anybody's into legalese, there's new evidence on the Constitution's impeachment standard. High crimes and misdemeanor means serious crimes. So this is Robert Nadelson. We'll see how that evolves with subsequent charges. The Lincoln Club and CD6 candidate is Casper Stockham, and he's got a book, The Great Black Millennial Awakening, Enlightenment in a Free America. And there's also Western Conservative Summit, June 12th through 13th.
Thank
Any
you.
questions?
Frank, isn't there somebody that's competing against Casper for that nomination, or did they step out?
Mr. DG, would you?
Steve House. Steve House, I would expect to have the establishment endorsement.
Mr. DG, future reference, please address the chair before addressing the speaker.
Certainly.
Sorry, but we're gonna follow rules. This is a meeting.
Sharing.
Otherwise, it would be anarchy.
Oh, God, no.
Woo, woo.
Madam Chair, are there any other questions?
Any other questions? Without any, thank you very much, Frank. Does anybody else of our guests want to make any remarks? Without any, we continue. Ellen's affiliates report, Denver.
So Denver has our next meeting on Tuesday, March 17th at 6:30 p.m. at the Dive In. We're going to be having a speaker from Citizens for Bodily Autonomy, talking about their new campaign to decriminalize sex work in Denver.
Nice.
And we also do have our petition for charter here, finally. Got all the signatures ready.
Does somebody need to sign that, or you did it?
We do. I guess we just give it to you guys. I don't know.
You could hand it to the secretary if it's a copy. Thank you. Congratulations.
Can I add to that? We have some money for you, and
Then you need to give it back.
Now we have to give it back.
yeah, and then we would like to maybe get some money for our bank account so that we can be an affiliate.
You have a separate bank account for Denver, right, John?
A sub-account, yes.
A sub-account, yeah.
I'm not giving them anything till I get the money that they're owed.
Okay. You have to request that he'll give it to you. Boulder. Nobody from Boulder. Jefferson. I'm going not in order, sorry.
2 items. First, our meeting was extremely successful last month with Frank was the guest speaker and talked about approval voting. March's meeting will be the annual meeting, and elections for all positions will be up. And there's definitely going to be spots for membership director and for outreach director.
And this is when?
This is March 19th at Holiday Lanes off of
Thursday?
Colfax. Yep, Thursday.
Thursday, March 19th. Awesome.
And that's about it.
Mr. Atkins.
Ross, if you would like to get that information on your event posting, send it to me.
Will do.
Okay?
Yep.
El Paso.
This coming Saturday is the Colorado Springs St. Patrick's Day Parade.
I heard there's a float.
We have a float. It got decorated mostly last Saturday. We're expecting to get some sashes to put labels on.
Yeah, I heard that somebody was getting those made.
And Randy is gonna print up some T-shirts for us. They're gonna have the Libertarian porcupine on the front. They're gonna be Irish flag colors, and then whatever on the back. What else?
Our Fargo's meeting on third Thursday.
Every third Thursday at Fargo's. I think the subject is going to be
Getting people to run for office.
available
Just
offices.
general.
Sir?
Nice.
Hang on. They're still talking about El Paso
Well,
County.
he looked at me and said, "Sir," so I was waiting for
Oh, Mr. Gilbranson.
Mr. Hirschman and Lexi.
I don't know if you heard on the national news today, but because of the coronavirus, the city of Dublin, Ireland, has canceled their St. Patrick's Day parade.
I heard that too.
Therefore, you may be now in the lead for the #1 St. Patrick's Day parade in the nation.
I forgot to mention that there's sort of the subject of the parade is going to be 100 years of women's voting, women's suffrage.
That's why the sashes, right? Ms. Pogue.
No, I was just saying it, sorry.
Oh, all right. Anything else for El Paso?
No.
Okay, Arapahoe.
Okay, so for Arapahoe, this coming Saturday, March 14th, is our county convention. So we're gonna have Dave Wasserman. He's gonna be talking about a ballot measure to expunge low-level marijuana charges, or cannabis charges, excuse me. So yay. And then we also have Regan Benson in the treatment of homeless in the Denver metro area.
Whoa, that's a good one.
Yeah. And then on top of that, we're gonna do proposed bylaw changes, board vote, yay, board vote. And then nomination for candidates in the 2020 county races. So join us, it's gonna be fun. Noon, Rancho Alegre on the corner of Chambers and Alameda.
Mr. Vice Chair.
And attendees will receive a name badge with a delegate or guest ribbon, absolutely free.
There's no such thing as free, Mr. Gilbranson.
I paid for it.
Mr. Gilbranson.
Just so it's publicly known, the usually scheduled second Tuesday meeting for the Rappa Happy Hour has been replaced by our convention
So there's no
Saturday.
drinking
So
tomorrow?
There will be plenty.
If you show up to the place tomorrow night, you're on.
Enjoy dinner.
Well, I mean,
Enjoy your dinner.
this is America, you can drink tomorrow, but it's not gonna be with LPAC.
It is a day that ends in Y.
Oh, goodness. All right, Pueblo. John, do you have anything?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I was on mute. We are not holding our regular meeting next Tuesday because it's St. Patrick's Day and our venue is having an event. In April, our guest speaker will be Mr. Stapleton and lovely Leslie Hollywood, who will be giving us an update on legislation and red flag gun control bill. And also, we may have a couple of people that are interested in running for the Pueblo West Metro District Board.
Very good. Any other affiliates or development groups here? No. Okay, LNC? Not present. Has everyone read the minutes? Are there any changes, any opposed? Without hearing any, we continue. Officer reports, Chairman. I have to add that I attended the Delta County meeting on Saturday, and they are moving to social meetings rather than just having the board meetings. They are looking for a new board for Delta County, so hopefully they can find a new board soon. Also testified at the House on Wednesday, so I'm not sure that's in my report, regarding the flavor ban, and I am happy to report that it was sent back to committee and there was no vote taken, so at least we have a little bit longer before they try to take our rights away. I did put this on my report, but I'm going to say it again. I'm running for County Commissioner, Douglas County District 2. The main job as County Commissioner is to oversee the budget. I probably am the least qualified person to oversee anything government-wise because I am fiscally conservative and I have a degree in economics, so I actually know how money works. So that being said, I'm still running for County Commissioner, and maybe I will take, well, I would take good care of the money of the taxpayers. So hopefully they will vote me in. I am am looking for donations and for volunteers for my campaign, as I am running a full-on campaign. I figured that if I'm asking other people to run for office, the least that I can do is run myself. And that's all I have. Mr. Vice Chair.
Only thing I would like to add to my report is we are less than a month away from the state convention, and we are looking to field as many candidates as possible for the 2020 election. It's going to be a big year, and even if all you're willing to do is just give us your name, we'll get you on the ballot. It's a lot of fun.
Treasurer.
I'm not sure I mentioned this in my report, but I got two what I consider earmarked contributions that I don't quite know what to do with. I think maybe some of it's going to be dealt with soon.
It's
But
an item
one
on
of
the
them
agenda.
is Elbert County button purchase. I have no idea what that is. And the other one is Arapahoe welcome postcards. I have no idea what that is.
Mr. Mulder was the person who earmarked for the buttons. Maybe he could answer that question. Mr. Mulder.
Thank you, Madam Chair. John, in answer to that, the Elbert County Chair, Jesse Bonds, he told me he spent about $50 purchasing buttons from the Libertarian National Committee's website to get for his affiliate, so I put $50 in with the intent that it goes to cover Elbert's future expenses if they need it.
Okay.
So it would just be earmarked to Elbert County.
Okay.
You may continue.
Then the other thing was the postcards, the welcome postcards.
I think that's an item on the agenda.
Okay. Then that's it.
Thank you, Mr. Treasurer. Fundraising.
So the only new thing that I have to add to report is that on that voting mechanism that I drafted back in November for how we're going to ballot and select the national delegates, I have added the counting mechanism to that. So it involves 5 counters, 3 rounds for a count. So if anyone wants to review that, it's under the 2020 convention folder, and it's at the tail end of the procedure for ballot or for nominating and electing the delegates.
Question, and just counting method for the delegate, the delegate voting?
It's the counting method for how we're going to elect the delegates to national.
Okay. Thank you. Anything further for fundraising?
No, everything else is in the report.
Thank you. Campaigns?
So we have the campaigns committee organized right now. I do need to make an addendum with some minutes from our meetings on there. My apologies on that. And right now the committee is consisting of myself, Mr. Gulbranson, Joe Johnson, Ross, Alan Heyman, and Bill Arnett. And we are going through data. We're making calls. We're working on filling the spots slowly but surely. And you know, there's some hits, there's some misses. Joe Johnson made a call and to a person from our national membership database who said he's cool. He wants to run State House District 3, and he wants to go to convention too. So there are some serious wins in this. We're going over the national donor database that we have for our membership. We are going over people that have that are registered for convention, aside from the people that we have that said they're interested. Mind you, not everybody that has put in that they're interested for running for campaigns are still interested. Some people didn't call me back. Some people called me back, told me no. Some people ended up being too young to run for state house. So you know, we don't we missed a couple this year. But I think next year we're going to have Clayton Casciato and a nice young man named Christian running from Fort Collins. So just slowly but surely building that ballot, even if we can't do it right now. The committee's going well. Like I said, it's just breaking down data, trying to get as much filled as possible. Going to be got to get everything up for that event on the 21st. My apologies. I got to get all that information so we can get that out. And we're going to use that to exhaust whatever remaining resources we have to fill the slots that we have remaining at that point. Right now we're probably running about 20-25% of our state ballots. I do believe, other than Colorado Springs is at Congressional District 5, I think, as you guys.
Yeah,
other than that, I believe I have the federal races filled. I wanted to let you guys kind of figure that out a little bit with yourselves. I jumped on CD1. I'm not positive about it, but Stacy and I have been working on getting Edgar Antion to run for CD1, and I don't think people understand how cool that is. This guy is awesome. He owns guns for everyone. He's Maj Tour without the dislike for immigrants. I mean, the guy is awesome. He's libertarian as can be, and he's a guy that if we get him running now, building name recognition, I could see him running for us in the future in some even different roles. He's a great guy. I just got to hop on him some more about that. But I feel pretty confident about the way it's going. Do I think we're going to get the ballot filled up? No, but I think we're going to get closer than we have the last two elections, and we're also going to be coming in with county commissioner candidates. We got Richie Franjosa, who's up in Park County. I had to call the Secretary of State because they're trying to make a petition onto the ballot. I got that squared away. We're looking at some different races, and we're preparing for what we need to do big in 2022. We need to have an army for 2022 because we need to be hitting all these races. We need to be in these county races. We need to be running for clerk and recorder. We need to be running for treasurer. We need to be running for sheriff of all of these little counties that nobody's thinking about, because not only are we giving people an opportunity at having more freedom in their lives and less government, we are offering libertarians the opportunity to have a damn good job in some counties that are struggling, where they will be rewarded for the work they're putting in. So I want everybody to consciously think about that. Not only think about this year, but think about 2 years down the road, and think about those people with their skill sets and their qualities and who can advance us further, okay? We need the best names where they can be elected.
The campaigns committee chair was raising his hand.
You? That guy, Kevin.
Yeah, the campaigns committee chair.
Do I get extra time on top of his time? Or?
Well, we can
How long do you need,
pause
Kevin?
it for a minute.
Very, very brief. I was somehow ended up being campaigns committee chairman under Matt's tutelage here. And I just want to add to everything he's saying that's so exciting. What's going on right now is what we're trying to do is build an infrastructure underneath this, a data infrastructure that will be perpetual, so that going into 2021, we will know, we have a database that will tell us what offices are available for election on a municipal or local basis in the off years. And going into 2022, we're already 5 years out on what's available all the way down to the county, and trying to keep that down one more level into the municipal level. And all, we've got a team going right now, and my recommendation to this party is that the position of campaigns director, or the committees that come under any of these directors, should not be a limited term basis based on what's happening this year. It's a long-term focus. All of us, outreach, John, you've got to think a financial plan, 5 years out, legislative. We're not going to win a lot this year. We got some good things going, but we got to envision what's happening down the road. We need to build a farm team at the committee level, at the volunteer level, because you guys should be one term and out. You've done your time. It's a tough job. I've been there. That's all I got to say.
Thank you very much, Mr. DG.
Do I need a little more time?
We got 30 seconds. We paused the clock while Mr. Gopranson was
Can you guys throw me another 90 seconds, round it out to 2?
Is there a second to extend to 90? Any opposed? Without any opposed? Go ahead.
So one thing that I want, whether I'm involved directly on the board or not, we really need to, and this is just recommendation, we need to get our candidates in the habit of going on to Tracer and taking care of their affidavit. That takes so much weight off of the people in my role and other roles, just having an organizational factor where it's all set up.
But it takes like 20 seconds to fill out.
Yeah, I know. It's terrible. And beyond that, what I'm going to be asking for you guys for the meeting, for that event that we're going to be having on the 21st, it's going to be at Kevin and Michelle's again. God bless you both. Love you very much for all that you do. I'm asking for $170 for that event, with $150 to be put towards food, which we'll once again sell tickets towards like last time, $19.99, all that good jazz, and then $20 just to go towards bumping a Facebook post about it.
Okay, so there's a are you making a motion for $170?
$170
for a outreach event on the 21st. Is there a second?
Second.
Are there any opposed or any further discussion? Any further discussion? Any opposed? Without any opposed, the motion passes.
Thank you kindly, that's all I have.
I'm sorry.
That
Since
guy.
you brought up the $170, the second request, we'd like to have some volunteers show up and make some phone calls.
Maybe we should
Yeah,
find out
too.
when it is and stuff like that. Mr. Vice Chair.
I need a Facebook event and I will have it on my calendar.
You got it.
So what is this event again, the 21st?
So the 21st, what we're gonna be doing is getting together starting at 4 o'clock, and we're gonna be making calls to try to fill the ballot from various data sources that we have. And then at 7 o'clock, we're going to unwind and have our usual Libertarian good time party, raise some money.
And this is a fundraising event?
Yep, this will be a
Awesome.
fundraising event already. That $150, I hope to easily get that back to the party and more. I'm thinking just doing something simple, like just pulled pork, a couple of barbecue sides, $19.99 a person. I'd like to take care of the people that come and volunteer their time, take care of their food. I think that's a great way to get some of those volunteers down. Yeah, I think we'll have another good time. We'll have a good time. We'll be very successful at this, and we'll make that money back, no problem.
Awesome, very good. Jim? 21079 East Mineral Drive, Aurora, Colorado 80014, I believe. 21079 East.
That gentleman in the white shirt will take care of you.
He's
over
the
there.
owner of the house. I just
Someone
have
has a
it
good memory.
memorized.
Someone doesn't smoke marijuana.
Don't accuse me of things you do not know about. I do not have a good memory. I just live there half of the time. Mr. Vice Chair.
Just last comment, and Matt, don't worry about getting that covered, I just got it.
All right then.
Awesome.
You're my favorite person.
That's cool.
Thank you for your kind donation. Outreach.
We did the Colorado Springs Tanner Gun Show, collected $27, 20 contacts, distributed brochures, bumper stickers, and invited many to the regular monthly meetings of the local affiliate.
Were you gonna ask us to co-host the March 14th thing?
The March 14th St. Patrick's Day, or March 15th St. Patrick, 14th St. Patrick's Day Parade. We need volunteers to come march with us, sit in the float, hold banners, wear sashes. Since the theme is 100 years of women votes, if I can get as many libertarian women on my float as possible, please come. I'll help arrange rides from Denver, Pueblo, or whatever. Just contact me. We can get that done. I have done the expenses for booths that I want to do through May. The total for the entrance fees, insurance, and I also need button stickers and extra large t-shirts. The total is $1,000. Do you want me to go through and itemize that and vote on each one?
How many?
This is the Denver Gun Show for $85, the Pueblo Gun for $75, the Cinco de Mayo is $350. Rifle Rendezvous will probably be free if we count as a nonprofit. It'll be $75 otherwise, and the Denver Pride Fest application is $60. I budgeted $200 for total possible insurance. I think Cinco de Mayo is the only one that will need that. We need more buttons. There's $40 for a variety pack of 90 count of buttons on lp.org, $50 for 100 bumper stickers. They are currently on sale for 50 cents each, and $65 for extra large t-shirts because we've got like one extra large t-shirt and it's in a style that nobody will buy off my booth.
Thank you.
That's $1,000 total.
Ms.
and-
Martin.
So, the party has a button maker, right?
Right.
Does it?
Yes.
I
It's
think
at
that
Karen
we could
Ann's house. She's.
Save ourselves some
We could pick it
expense
up.
if our lovely outreach director set up like a button making party. And
I am
Great idea.
down to do a button making party and take. That would remove $40 from my $1,000 total, and that
I mean, it's not a big chunk.
$960. It's definitely mostly for the Cinco de Mayo. That's a big one, and then there are like 5 entry fees and
fees and
application fees on there.
And
So
Cinco de Mayo buttons really do fly, so if we could like
Yeah.
just get kind of us. in
yeah,
there
if
and pop
Karen
it out.
already
Okay,
has the
let's
supplies,
call
yes.
to order.
Alright.
Let's get back to orders.
Alright, so I moved that I need $960 unless we want to vote on them items.
So rounded to up to $1,000.
I was already at $1,000
So
with
no,
this.
no, up to $1,000.
Yeah, up to $1,000. I probably won't even
So
spend
you
that
want
much,
to make a
but
motion to spend up to $1,000
for
in
booths,
the
for
next
booths
5 outreach
through May.
Through May.
Yeah, that'll keep me done through May, and that is one application fee for a booth in June.
Second.
Any discussion? Mr. Atkins?
I have a question.
Yes, Ms. Plummer?
Is the outreach director planning on running again this term? Because I think it's up for election.
Yes. She
Okay.
said yes. Mr. Atkin, then Mr. Gomez.
Will you send me a list of all of those events so I can put them on the events
I will do
calendar?
the state ones. John, I'm really bad at doing the affiliate ones. You should do the affiliate ones.
Actually, let me rephrase that. Since we're in the middle of a discussion on a motion, we're gonna keep the comments to board members. Sorry, I should not have called on Mr. Gombrowski, unless there is no opposition from the board to hear from somebody in the gallery. Without any opposition, we will hear from Mr. Gombrowski.
I hope this doesn't affect the vote that just took place, but did we not confirm whether People's Fair is happening this year?
People's Fair is not happening as far as I can see. Like, every time I've looked it up, it's been 2018 news.
They have made no announcement.
They have made no
because
announcement.
last year when they left it, they said we're gonna take a 1-year hiatus. I'm surprised they haven't said something since.
There's nothing on Google, and I haven't received anything from the TPP, like, event organization emails regarding it.
Okay, so just so the board is advised that the application fee she has in for People's Fair, which is a June event.
No, I have an application fee for Pride Fest.
Pride Fest, rather.
Yeah,
is,
and that's definitely happening.
If that
So that
application
is
is accepted,
happening.
which it most likely will be, then you will have another bill of what?
It is
$3,500?
another $300 for the booth, but I figure I'll have you all vote on that in like April or May.
And then you've included the insurance fees with each of these.
I have budgeted $200 total for the insurance, and I think Cinco de Mayo is the only thing that will require it. I don't expect to actually spend $1,000 over the next 5 months, but I wanted to give wiggle room with insurance and T-shirts.
Any further discussion? Is there any opposed to budgeting $1,000 for the next outreach events through the month of May? Mr. Mulder?
Question for the treasurer, Madam Chair.
Yes, sir?
Will we be able to do that, John?
Yes.
Cool. No question, no further questions.
We do have the budget. Any further questions? Any further discussion? Are there any opposed? Without hearing any, the motion passes. Affiliates, Regions is not here. Legislative? Mr. Stapleton, is he on the phone?
Yes.
Mr. Stapleton?
Yep, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, just wanted to go back real quick. You had brought up the House Bill 1319, the prohibition of flavored nicotine products. While yes, that was voted to be laid over in committee, they are bringing it back to a vote in committee tomorrow. So that will be voted on. That is an action item only. It will be voted on by the committee with no public testimony taken on it tomorrow.
Well, that sucks.
House Bill, or Senate Bill 20-100, repeal of the death penalty, is on its way to the governor's desk for signature. So Colorado has officially repealed the death penalty. Yay! The pending signature of the governor, which he's indicated he will sign. The next thing coming up this Thursday is red flag repeal in the House Judiciary Committee. Committee hearing starts at 1:30, and we are trying to get massive numbers there to push back. We've already seen in the 20-some petitions that have been filed exactly how atrocious this law is. To date, there have been 350 pieces of proposed legislations come across the desk in the House and 201 in the Senate. So they are on pace to get easily over 700 pieces of legislation proposed before session is out. We continue to get out our weekly updated legislative watch list, and we are seeing some good results of people participating in that.
Any questions for legislative? Anything further, Mr. Stapleton? Membership, Mr. Pickerel?
Can you hear me okay?
We can hear you now.
Okay. I had to unmute myself. You might have noticed that I didn't have a report submitted. I apologize. I managed to lock myself out of City CRM. You may have seen the note from database that we got a new data dump from Secretary of State, and the number of registered libertarians in Colorado did go up. Some counties went up quite a bit, and so that's good news. I want to thank Mark Montoni for a tremendous amount of help in responding to new inquiries and volunteers this month. I've been challenged with the amount of time I can spend on it because since my election to the board of directors of San Isabel Electric Association, that has taken up quite a bit of my time. The good news is there are motions that come up in that boardroom where libertarian principles can be applied, such as the solar projects and wind projects that come in. Some of you may know this. The loans that they take out for that, on the order of hundreds of millions of dollars, are taxpayer subsidized. There was a motion recently where San Isabel wanted to take out an RUS loan, which is a division of the USDA, to subsidize and refinance at taxpayers' expense, and I was able to vote no on that. I've been able to express my concerns about the 30% taxpayer subsidy for solar and wind projects. So we are making hay, but unfortunately, the time I spend on membership directors has taken a hit on that. So I'll leave that to the board. If you think I'm doing a bad job, you can certainly pull me aside, and I'll be willing to listen. And if I need to step down, I can do that too. If you want me to stay on, I will do that too. Thank you.
Mr. Vice Chair?
I just want to say on the record, John, you've done a fantastic job as membership director.
I was gonna also say that I don't see any issues. It looks like we have a net gain in membership, over 2,000 net new members this year, so that's pretty amazing. I also did go ahead and reappoint Mr. Montoni to be the Welcome Committee Chair, and he is working on getting an actual committee put together under him so that we can help with those efforts as well. And I think you're doing a great job, John.
Okay, thank you. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Any questions, anything further for membership? Communication.
Steve here.
Oh, Steve.
Just want to let you know I'm here telephonically.
Okay, let's go back to you then. Regions or affiliates, whatever it's called.
I have nothing to add to my report.
Okay, thank you. Communications.
I have nothing to add to my report.
Secretary.
Nothing to add.
Technology. Database and website.
The only thing I want to add is I did get the Secretary of State's file, and I've done my work on that, and it should be loaded to the database sometime this week by Andy Burns at National. And also on the agenda, and I made a Facebook post about suggestions to reach out to the new libertarians from our list, and if any of the affiliate chairs have not seen this, you can read it right now. You've seen this column?
Alright, could we address that during new business? Cause you
Yeah.
put it in the agenda.
Right.
Mark Montoni, is he here? Oh wait, Secretary, did you have? It's on the drive here in the agenda, I believe it. If you have access to the agenda, it's at the bottom. Thank you, Mr. Atkin. Anything further? Any questions for Mr. Atkin? Welcome Committee, Mark Montoni. Campaigns Committee, Mr. Gilbranson.
I pretty much covered it.
We need to remove the Policy Manual Committee because I forgot to remove it. Issues Committee startup too. Legislative Committee, is there anything on that, Mr. Stapleton? Other than what you've already gone through?
We've got people participating and helping me monitor the schedule and legislation, so everything is going along pretty smoothly.
I've been very, very well impressed with the work that the Legislative Committee is doing and keeping us apprised of every bill that's going on and everything else. The Legislative Watch is pretty freaking amazing. Thank you so much for what you're doing there. Any questions for Legislative Committee? No? Okay, let's go to new business. Mr. Atkin.
Okay, as I mentioned, I got a new voter file. We have a couple thousand new registered libertarians, and my suggestion is that we ask the affiliates to fund a postcard to these new libertarians at a rate of 50 cents per voter. This would allow us to tell these new registered libertarians, thank them, tell them about our events page and Facebook page, and encourage them to sign up for email notifications, and we can also ask them for a donation. These are people we've never talked to before, so it's an opportunity to reach out.
So it's 2,069 total registered new libertarians.
Well, there
and
are
at 50 cents, it'd be about $1,000.
Yeah. That's if we do all of them. Now, I'm asking for the affiliates to pony up for their share, and if we only do 2 or 3 affiliates, then it's, you know, it's not going to cost that much, but it's up to them to fund it. This is not a state expense. This is an affiliate cost.
Okay, we have several of the affiliate chairs in the room. Do they need to bring this back to their affiliates to discuss?
Yep. Yeah, we definitely.
And we could probably hear back by next month, by convention. Mr. Holder.
Yeah, it's me. My question is directed to what the treasurer was talking about earlier in relation to what David was talking about. Did you say someone made an earmark contribution that was covering Arapahoe's expenditures?
For
Arapahoe, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it was Ken Lively.
Oh, awesome. Ken, he's amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, he offered to cover the expenditures for Arapahoe's postcards.
Yep.
So Arapahoe is in. Anybody else? Mr.
Is the intention that the state is going to do the mailing?
That was,
yeah, why not?
That was my
and
kind
the
of
affiliates
thing.
fund it.
Yeah.
So the affiliates would do the postcards and then the state would mail them, or the
No.
state?
My thinking was that the affiliates would fund it and the state would design the postcard and see that they get mailed out.
We already have postcards and postcard stamps if we get a list, but it wouldn't be the state's version of the stamp.
Yeah. You could donate the stamps.
Yeah, cause you're,
Campaign director.
cause you were saying you want to kind of more specify the marketing with the events and things like that, so we would need fresh material to send to them, correct?
So welcome.
And there are several members here that are not from any of the affiliates. Adams, Broomfield, Larimer, Weld. So those would have to be covered by the state, I would believe. Is that correct, Mr. Atkins?
Well, it's possible for the state to cover those that are not covered by the affiliates, okay? That's up to you guys. I'm just putting this out on the table that this is a way to reach out to these people, and I think the affiliates should be involved by paying for their share. And if the state wants to pick up the balance, that's up to you guys.
Okay, it looks like we're out of time. Is there any further discussion on this? Is there a motion? At all? Is there anybody making a motion for the state to cover the balance for the affiliates for the state to request it from the affiliates? Is there a motion? Mr. Mulder.
I would like to move that the affiliates interested in participating in this mailing cover their estimate of the expenses as provided by the database manager.
Second.
Second.
Any opposed? Without any opposed, the motion passes. Is there any motion on the table regarding the places that have no affiliate as to the postcards regarding the cost of those? Mr. Mulder?
Just a question, would anybody be able to figure out how much that would cost, not counting the affiliates who exist already?
It's very easy.
1,034.50.
About $300.
Oh.
If that.
No, I thought we were cutting all those numbers in half.
We are.
The 2069.
Oh, did I? Oops, sorry, Denver is an affiliate now. I forgot. I was counting Denver's numbers. So about $150.
I move we cover the remaining 150.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any opposed? Without any opposed, the motion passes. So Arapahoe County has put into that, and all of the non-affiliated areas. Mr. Gilbranson, you had a question.
A related question to the subject. Mr. Montoni sends out regular mailers to welcome people. Where does he get his funding? Is that in the budget, or?
He sends out emails.
I know he does mailers as well, because we've supplied him with bumper stickers which can't be emailed.
The question for Mr. Montoni, I believe that he's using out-of-pocket funds for that.
God bless you, Mark.
Yes.
All hail the rabbi.
Okay, any other new business? Mr. Atkins?
Well, back on the postcards, we will need somebody to design a postcard.
I move that Mr. Boulder design the postcards.
What's the dimension of those and the bleed?
Is there any opposed?
Hold there.
Without any, Mr. Mulder will design them for us.
4x6.
Is it too late to decline?
No. Yes, it's too late, sorry.
One other
yes.
thing that'd be nice is if we could get the county affiliate social media pages on those postcards, that'd be extremely
That would be
helpful.
very cool. You could give
Yeah, call
your
us.
input to Mr. Mulder on what you'd like to be on those postcards. Any further new business?
I'm sorry, I'm trying to volunteer here. I assume that
The
Mr.
gentleman
Database
from the-
guy is gonna need somebody to actually have these printed and labeled and posted. And I would like to volunteer our services to do that, if I may, unless there's somebody on the board who would rather do it.
I'll just come to
Is
you
there
after
any
the meeting.
opposed with Mr. Gilbranson doing it for us?
I'm not opposed to doing it, but I would like volunteers to help, because it is a big job.
I will be there.
We provide booze and pizza.
They provide booze and pizza. Any opposed? I like booze and pizza. I don't know about the rest of you, but I have no opposition to booze and pizza. All right, are we gonna get this board meeting done in less than an hour?
Possibly.
I'm trying to stretch it out for you.
So, is there any other new business? there a motion to adjourn?
Motion adjourned.
Is there a second? Meeting adjourned.
Now you gotta say everything off the record.
Now everything is.